Hello and welcome back to another Gunpla review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the high-grade Demi Trainer and the high-grade Chuchu Demi Trainer, as well as a little option. Set. Alright, so here's the Demi Trainer. Chuchu's Demi Trainer, just out of the box, just like straight built. I didn't do any painting. I don't even think I did any painting behind the visors, because I usually tend to do that to make them more shiny. But with Chuchu's, yeah, you kind of have to do it. But with the standard one, it really reflects the light like really well, just out of the box. It looks even better in person than on camera, so it's already really impressive. These, of course, are both from the Witch From Mercury. Chuchu's released first, oddly enough, and then the standard one released after. I think at the same time as the option set. And you can see, these are both pretty nice designs. Definitely based on the classic gym. Because, I mean, these are kind of the grunt suits of Witch from Mercury. Yeah, so, standard Chuchu's. They're supposed to be the same height. I don't know why Chuchu's is taller. Maybe it's just how I have it posed? No, that's... Huh. Their build was, like, the same in the lower legs, besides just, like, this side bit, the knee thing. So I don't know why that... Huh? Okay, I am extremely confused. Now, I remember when we first got a bunch of Witch from Mercury kit announcements, I thought some designs were kind of neat, some I was just, eh. But the Demi Trainer, I remember loving this thing, because it's just a really cool design, because I've always been a big fan of grunt suits over, like, main Gundams and stuff, and the Demi Trainer is like a grunt suit. It's just a gym, but fat, and I love it. You can see, color separation is pretty good on this. We have, like, the standard white, that's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, it's kind of minty, kind of not. We have that, and then this kind of dark brown for like legs, inner frame, torso, clear green for the head, and then sadly, the cockpit here is actually a sticker, so it's not that bad of a sticker. Of course, we also do have a shiny green sticker in there, but you know, Chuchu's has that same thing. But yeah, we actually get cockpit sticker in here, which is kind of weird. You'd think they color separate it, but I think the reason why is you can change it, because on the sticker sheet, you get, like, a bunch of different colors you can choose from to make your own customized unit. So I think that is pretty neat, though I would have preferred if we'd got a bunch of different colors of plastic, but I get that would have, like, bumped the price up, because this thing is really cheap, and I want to stay like that. And see, we have some cool, layered parts, because this, just like the other Witch Mercury kits, has, like, a semi-full inner frame, and this, like, little chest bits, like, thrusters, I'm guessing, because if they were Vulcans, they'd look stupid, because they're just angling downwards. But these do come in from the back layer. But that's really the only time you ever really see that on it. But it's still neat to have that on a high grade, where as it usually would just be for real grades. The backpack I like too, which is essentially just this little basic slab with thrusters on it. And it's also kind of weird. The rear skirting armor is molded in a way so it always looks like it's flared out like that. Kind of weird, kind of like it, kind of don't. Not really sure. But overall, I do love this design. It's just, like, there's something about it I just love. Meanwhile, the Chuchu's version, don't actually like as much. I usually like sniper suits a lot, and I usually like, suits with, like, these little handlebars and stuff. But I don't know, I don't really like it. Like, I get it's trying to do, like, the, Votom Scope Dog thing. And I think that's really neat, but I don't know, I just don't like it as much. Well, we have, seems to be the lighter shade of white for the main body parts. And we have, instead of this kind of mint thing, we have this beige almost color. And the inner frame also has a bit more of like a brownish hue. So even though these things do use like the same frames, they are not like, well, you can swap parts, but it just won't really fit. And I think I've discovered why Chuchu's is taller. It has this little, seems to be an extender piece here. In there. That's pretty neat. Or it could just be the way I've posed them, but yeah. And you can see differences in the design, the feet already. This has a little handlebar at the back, which Chuchu's oddly lacks, but as a replacement, we get a wheel. Sadly, it does not spin. The Demi Trainer, normal and sadly lacks this, although it does still have the wheel on the bottom, but the back wheel is instead replaced with, looks to be a little vernier. And of course, we have, well, besides the color difference in all of these, we have this little armor section here added on Chuchu's, which seems to make it taller, and it wraps around like the back and everything. And then instead of this basic knee armor, which I really, really like, we get this, which I don't like as much, but I think it's kind of cool how it has like a Senenju style thruster, and it's articulated here. You can also kind of shift it downwards, which I think I like more because I don't really like it shifted up like that. And then we have some handlebars on the knees, and then the waist is identical, besides color. Torso is also identical besides the color, although Chuchu's is technically more color accurate out of the box because it's not meant to have the colored cockpit hatches. You can just leave it in the base plastic. So if you really do not want any stickers on your kit, get Chuchu's because the only one is in there. But there are a lot more reasons I'm going to mention later as to why you should get this over this. I mean, it's still a good kit, but I'll explain why later. I like this more. Yeah, so torso is the same. The arms, we can see some more differences. So the lower arms are identical on both, but when we get to the shoulders, on this one, we have an extra part here which attaches a little Zaku-style shoulder shield, which I do actually really like. And then here, the shoulder is just a simple little handlebar, and then as for the head, you can see it is very different on both. The heads are, yeah, they're very different. This Chuchu's has this part kind of here. On the design, it's just an add-on part, I guess. But on here, it's like this entire gray section is completely different. But the only new thing really is this, which makes it so it has more of a Votom scope dog look. And then we also get a antenna on here, which this does include an optional antenna you can put on, but it's just a stick. Meanwhile, this is oddly enough a lot like Char's from his Zaku. So getting some Xeon vibes just with, the Zaku shoulder shield, the mono eye, Char's commander antenna, or any Zaku commander antenna really, and the Senenju thrusters. So yeah, oddly Xeon looking suit. And then of course the backpacks are completely different. This is a nice little thruster brick. This is essentially a battery for the sniper rifle, I'm guessing, because it does link up to it later on once you get that accessory. Yeah, so overall these are both very nice designs, although I do personally prefer this more, but Chuchu's is still pretty nice. As for accessories, I guess we can start with Chuchu's, and this. This is my biggest issue with the kit. This part, opening this Ziploc bag. Yeah, this I don't really like. You want to see the accessories? Yep, that's it. One of the biggest things about Gunpla is, posing your kits. And you're not going to get this thing into a lot of poses when you only have one weapon like this. But, you can do different sniper shooting poses, right? Let me show you how this attaches. So, we have this, which plugs into the crotch. It's simply enough. Why is that? Oh, putting it upside down. Yeah, so this just attaches in. You can see there's a still hole right there. So you can put on the normal Demi Trainer if you want. I don't know why you want to do that. Yeah, so you attach that in there. This cable comes around to the back and plugs in here. Which, that's pretty neat, right? That brings up another one of my issues. The part here, it's two parts right here, so they're going to force themselves, out, eventually. And the cable just pulls on them. Same with this little thing here, which is on a tiny tab, which probably would snap. So, yeah, that's really not great. And then, you want to pose it? Well, that's even more annoying. So we do have this kind of cool gimmick here to help. So you move out the rear skirting armor, you rotate it forwards, and plug it back in. So it's like what those high-grade wing kits have. And then, you can get into a pose. It is a bit tricky. I think you kind of need that. And also, you have to reach that. And then the hand won't fully go in there. So can I bend the elbow? Will that fix it? No. It won't. There. Okay, so that. And then we angle the head. And then I guess we... Damn it! Yeah, and then we can just adjust that. Goes gravity. And then... Yeah, so they're pretty cool sniper pose, right? One issue. This is the only sniper pose you're going to be getting it in. Because this arm right here, extremely limiting. So this is going to be the only pose you'll be able to get in with a sniper rifle. And guess what? It has no other weapons. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier, well, it does have other ones just here. One other difference is in the head. Chuchu's has Vulcans, unlike the standard one. Those are the only other weapons, but your Vulcan shooting pose is essentially this, except you just move the head. So yeah, this is the only pose you can get in. So yeah, you get in this pose, looks kind of neat, plop it on a shelf, and that's it. And someone who really likes to pose their Gunpla, that's just not great. Yeah, you get very little articulation. So you get a little swivel at the base, swivel here, and then just a little rotation down there. And then, of course, the handles can also rotate too. But that still won't give you any other poses. So this is all you can do. And at that point, you might as well just get like a statue or something. We do get 2 other accessories, though, which, damn it, these are pretty neat. These are open hands, right? It's kind of cool how it only has 3 fingers. Well, I think that's all it would really need. Like, just one for holding, one for the trigger finger. Don't have to add a bunch of other unnecessary fingers. So I actually do really like this design traits on both of them. But here's another issue. The back of the hands are color inaccurate. And I don't think there are any paints for the specific color you can get. And I guess you can swap out the backs of the hands, but they are really annoying to get off. More so than your usual Gunpla hands are super tight on there. And, like, whenever you want to get in widespread open hand pose, it's just not fun. And you're not going to be getting it into, like, really any poses with that. Unless you have it, like, holding it, which sniper with just one hand and then, like, pointing forwards like that, but that just looks stupid and keeps falling over because balance. So yeah, that part's not the greatest. Oh, and also because the inner frame is a slightly different shade of gray, you can't use this with the standard Demi Trainer, although these are included in an option set, which we will talk about later. Oh, and this costs more than the standard Demi Trainer? Huh? Oh, and I guess this is an accessory too, sticker sheets. Thought I'd mention it. You get 1 for inside the chest, and then 2 for the sniper rifle. But I do like this. They add this huge chunk of just extra green, and I like that because then you can cut it out and make your own stickers, which is pretty neat. Meanwhile, the normal Demi Trainer comes with a pretty nice spread of weapons. It is, like, basically the standard stuff, but it is enough to get into some fun poses. Alright, so starting off with our melee weapon, we have this little baton here, essentially. It's just like a little stick. It's very basic, but at the same time, it is decently detailed at the base. And I do quite like this, because it's just like a little stick, and you can just slide it into the hand. And then you can get your Demi Trainer in, like, some cool, like, thwacking poses with it. That's pretty neat. Next up, we have our little beam rifle, and this is, again, pretty neat. It's just a basic little beam rifle. We have a little sticker for the sensor there. And it's also really cool how it attaches into the hand. Well, at the same time, I kind of hate it. So you get the 00 thing, where it plugs into the arm and the hand. Although, I just don't like that, because it makes the arms uneven, because one thing's still on the outside, one's on the inside. But I think it's still kind of neat how it does peg in there, like, on 00 kits, meaning you get a really secure hold. And yes, I'm essentially just doing the same pose as the other, but slightly altered. Yeah, that is pretty neat. Next up, we have, once again, a pretty neat little accessory. So this is the shield. It's a nice little slab of metal, very nicely color separated. We have 2 layers here, and then we just have we have a handle here, goes into the hand, and then a peg here, which you guessed it, goes into the forearm. If I can get it lined up, there we go. And that is a nice solid hold. Get it in some cool poses. So I can angle the arm. Yeah, nice shield. Finally, we have 2 other little accessories. Well, actually 3 if you count the sticker sheet, because you can, like, change up Demi Trainer. Like, out of the box, you can personalize your unit, which I think is awesome. We have 2 other little accessories. First of all is this. You can barely see that. But essentially, what you do is you plug it onto side skirt, if it won't move out of the way and if the camera will actually focus. I've never actually used this accessory, but I think it's a neat little addition. You can plug it onto there, and then grab a little stick thing, and I guess you want to angle like that, and then you can just slide it in for a pretty cool weapon storage, and you can just have him, like, grab it, and never mind, you can't. Well, he's not going to be getting a stick, but that is pretty cool that you can store that. And then, oh, that almost fell off. Our final accessory, I mentioned earlier, is this, which is a little, like, blade antenna. You can just snap onto the head. And this makes it so it can actually do duels. It looks really stupid, and it's there just to get snapped off, but I think that's a pretty nice little addition. And I guess if you're putting this in any action poses, you're gonna want to have this equipped. but I really don't care enough to do that because I think the concept of duels in the series is stupid. But anyways, moving on. That's it for the accessories. You can see just the difference between the two. The Demi Trainer has, like the standard Demi Trainer, it has a bunch of accessories which you can get a bunch of like various poses, and even some like personalization and customability, or customization out of the box, which I just think is awesome. Oh, and it's cheaper than this, which it has a beam rifle, which you can get into one pose, 2 alternate hands. Woohoo! And it's like even more painful too with the Chuchu's Demi Trainer because you'll see this later on, but this thing has incredible articulation. Like it is amazing. But you just can't take advantage of it with the Chuchu's Demi Trainer because, like, you know, you're gonna get it into one pose and that's it. That's done. One pose. Wow. Incredible. So again, at that point, it's just like a statue. So, yeah. Again, I don't hate Chuchu's Demi Trainer. I just prefer the standard version, as I can get into a lot more cool and interesting poses, and I really like the out-of-box customization you can do with, like, alternate cockpit, or even, like, giving it a little antenna if you want. Oh, and also, this goes for both of them, but the side skirt armor is apparently the same as 3-minute mission kits, so if you get any of those option sets, and it's the same with all these joints, seeing as how they're fine build, which, yes, I hate the fine build system, but it's done pretty well on these. As you can see, it can hold up its own weight. There's actually pretty tight joints. Chuchu's Demi Trainer, same thing, although not as much, because there's a bit more weight. Yeah, so Bandai has gotten better with the fine build system. Alright, so now we're going to be taking a look at the option set, and that is a lot. So let's get into it. Alright, so first off, we have a knife. Just a straight up knife. So if you ever want your Demi Trainer to be Rambo, well, here you go. So this, by the way, all these weapons are cast in the normal gray of the Demi Trainer, because that's what they're meant for. Even though you can use them with the Chuchu version if you want. Yeah, so it's just slides into the hand, and there we go. We have a little Rambo Demi Trainer. Next up, we have this. Now, you may be wondering what this is. This is essentially a base for you to make your own custom weapon. So we have all this stuff you can put on it. Let's shift the camera over. So we have the base thing. You can remove this to make it even smaller, and then you can put in a drill or a buzzsaw, because why not? Or even an alternate hand for the Demi Trainer, which will not go on. I thought it said you can put it on. I guess you can't, but this is actually kind of cool. So you can take your Demi Trainer, pop off the hand, and this was actually used in like one of the episodes, I do remember it. And then put it in, and now it can cosplay as a gun tank, or the Act Guy. That's pretty cool, just like a little hand with machine guns on it, like the gun tank. Or what you can do with this is attach on this barrel and this barrel thing. I think that's the right way to do it. I don't know. But you can make this Gatling gun. This is actually kind of neat. You can just have the Demi Trainer hold it, slides to the hand. I'm not going to do it, though, because there's already too many accessories here. But that is a pretty nice little addition. And you also get some adapters. I have no idea, don't remember what these are used for, but I think this is to store the knife on, like, the arm or the side skirt. This is for something. And then finally, we have the dreaded Chuchu's Demi Trainer beam rifle. Although, we don't have the wire here pulling on it, so that's nice. And we also get, oh yeah, another thing we can do is disassemble this and then reassemble it with some Gatling gun parts and turn it into a huge Gatling gun. You can get like a cool bullet chain. Really cool. Not going to do it because it's going to take up way too much time. But we do also get the alternate hands in here. So, yeah, if you want to make your Demi Trainer be able to do only one pose, then that's for you. So I think it is cool the option set. It's kind of like 30-minute missions where it has like these modular weapons, and they are really nice. But I don't really think it's necessary to buy, as you already get a good amount of weapons with the Demi Trainer on its own. But, I mean, if you want to get this, then yeah, you can. It's a pretty neat little set, although it somehow, like, costs as much as the Demi Trainer itself, which I think is a little bit funny. Either the Demi Trainer is stupidly underpriced, or that thing is stupidly overpriced. But either way, Demi Trainer is cool. Alright, now so moving on to the articulation. It is the same on both of these, by the way, except, Chuchu's, you're not going to be using any of that. So let's use Demi Trainer, because this one you're actually going to be posing. So starting at the head, as you can see, there's no neck, so it just rotates. Although, if you pop it out of its socket, then you can look up and down, although I think that looks really cursed because there's just that little void. So don't do that. You can stick to rotating, which is already cool enough. This little thing at the top you can move. You can do it on Chuchu's too, except it kind of gets stuck on the little V-fin, but you can force it past it, but it feels really scary and it has that awful clicking sound. But you can do that if you want. And then at the shoulders, it's really cool. We have butterfly joint, which also gives us a bit more upwards movement. We have an individually moving shoulder, which can give us that much upwards, which is pretty impressive. We have a bicep swivel, and slightly more than 90-degree bend at the elbow. And then it has like this little locking point, which is kind of weird when you like fold it back. We have this little bit that rotates full 160 degrees here for like holding the rifle and stuff. And then the hand is also on a ball joint, do ball joint stuff. But this is kind of neat. We have these little like indentations in the arm to, I guess, kind of have the wrist just resting there, which I think is actually kind of neat. So yeah, nice little addition. Wish more kits had it, but I guess like you don't really need it. But it's a neat little thing to have. The ab crunch. This is insane. Look at that. That is really good. And the added help of this, so it's already cool that the rear skirting arm removes, but with the added help of that, you can get even more of an ab crunch. So combined, you get that much, which I think is just insane. Yeah, that's really cool. And you do need the secondary one if you want to get the Chuchu's Demi Trainer to a sniper pose easily. And we have these little side skirts here, which can rotate, but they're very tricky to rotate. And then we have these front skirt armors, which I hate, because they're kind of loose on here. They won't fall out, but they start a bit loose. You can kind of push them in to lock them into place, but they will undo themselves eventually. Oh, and we also have like full waist swivel, which is always nice. And then for our hip movement, it's just a peg in there. There's no dropping mechanism, but we do still get a good amount. It's about average. And then for our splits, stupid skirt armor. For splits, because there's no actual side skirts, you get that. And then we have thigh rotation. As for our knee bend, it is double jointed, fine build system, so may not hold up over time. Maybe it will, not sure. This moves separately, which I think is kind of neat too. I've said that word a lot in this review. And then this is a big issue. The ankles. This is like Transformers level stuff, and when Gunpla gets to Transformers level of bad articulation, mistakes are made. So Transformers don't have this rotation here. And then, of course, we also have really good angle tilt, although I hate Witch From Mercury ankles so much, because you move the two chunks separately. Why? Like, it's overcomplicated, and, yeah, you get a bunch, but it's overcomplicated and means that you can get them slightly misaligned and it won't stand properly. And it makes posing it, on the ground just really annoying. And, every kid has this, too, and just, why? I think the only one that doesn't is, the Beggar View, one of, the first ones. But, yeah, I don't get it. Oh, and the Delonza. The Delonza stays winning. That's a great kit. Yeah, but then, you may have noticed, where's the this little armor bit moves. Where's the forwards and backwards movement? You don't get any. You can get a little bit with that, but as for backwards, nope. And that's the part where it's like Transformers articulation, because I never do that. But even some Transformers do that. So, when Gunpla is outclassed by Transformers, like Hasbro Transformers, I think that's even worse. So yeah, it definitely needed some kind of joint there. I saw people saying, oh, it's canon to in-universe logic, because the Demi Trainer would probably be worse than the Gundam. This thing this doesn't abide by in-universe logic. You see, no opening cockpit, right? Oh, and now that we're done with articulation, let me show you the scale. Here's a standard size, which is 18 meters tall, the Gundam Mark II. Demi Trainer is supposed to be 16 meters tall. Now, I guess it is a bit shorter, but it probably should be a bit more shorter. And then Chuchu's is the same height. I'm actually going to go see if it's meant to be like that. Okay, it's supposed to be 17.4 meters, so they actually had kind of go with scale there, but it's the same height as the Mark II, which is weird. Witch from Mercury seems to be in, like, its own scale, separate from 144th, maybe at, like, 1/140th scale? Like, look at these two, the Ariel and the Mark II. These are both supposed to be 18-meter mobile suits, yet the Ariel is way taller than it. But compared to the Demi Trainer looks like it's the 16 meters compared to this 18 meters. And this looks like it's 17 compared to 18 meters. So it's weird how Witch Mercury is in its own, like, it's its own scale, kind of. Just, like, slightly bigger than 1/44th scale. Yeah, as for some other scale, that was with 18 meter tall mobile suit. Here's a non-scale robot Tamashi, but it's about, like, 1/44th scale. Here's the GP02, the Hygog, and here it is with the Victory. This is a 15-meter tall mobile suit. This is an 18-meter tall. 15-meter tall, 16-meter tall. Same height. But hey, when has Bandai ever actually cared about scale? High-grade wing series. Here they are with the Witch Mercury collection. I don't know why I dedicated a shelf to the entire series. I don't even like Witch Mercury that much, but didn't really have anywhere else to put them. But here they are with the rest of the suits. And yes, I finally got a Lifrith from the best episode of Witch Mercury, still in my opinion, the prologue. And also probably one of the best Gundam designs in the series. Yeah, finally got a Lifrith. That's cool. You can see they fit in pretty well, so neat. Here they are with a perfect grade that is ginormous. And here they are in a heated battle between a Type 61 main battle tank, the Zaku 2, and some Wappas in the back, and also, like, soldiers. Oh, and here they are with some master grade stuff. They're about standard scale. Yeah, so overall, I think these are two great kits for Witch Mercury. The Demi Trainer is definitely one of my favorite kits from the line. And Chuchu's Demi Trainer, it's still pretty cool. It's just, you can't really pose it that much. So if you like to pose your Gunpla, get the Demi Trainer over Chuchu's. Chuchu's, I think I'd only get if you either really like the design, or you just like Chuchu as a character because Chuchu is funny. Yeah, the standard Demi Trainer just comes with, like, way more stuff in the box than Chuchu's. Anyways, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, then don't. And yeah, bye.